Okay, so I wanted to do a quick little how-to video on using Adobe Color. We've talked about different types of color schemes for your brochure. You can see along the side, it lists different types of color schemes. The item here in the middle where the arrow is shows you this one. That's kind of usually your main or your dominant color. And then these can be moved around just by grabbing them. So if I tell it I want analogous, then it's going to pick ones that are next to it. But you can see it can be quite far or really, really close and very similar. Okay. You can also move it from this middle into much lighter colors. Another way you can alternate the color, if you look, hang on a second, down here, you can also grab the little sliding bars and I can make it darker that way if I wanted to. So that's the thing to think about as you're moving things around. So let's say I know, I love blue. I want blue to be one of the dominant colors in my brochure. Okay. So that's my main blue. I'm happy with that. That's one example. All right. I can also go monochromatic. It's picked, several different types. I can move it along. I could do a triad. Here's my blue with some other colors. If I don't like this green, which I don't care for, okay, that's fine. Move it along. I still don't like it. I can play down here a little bit, move it along this way if I want to. So it's really just a nice little tool to develop different types of color schemes. Complementary, that's when it's across from each other. So there's the blue, I wanted a darker blue, pink, red. So you can see how you can really get quite a few different color schemes going. Split complementary is when it goes to the side of the complementary. Right across would be the main complementary, and they go to the side. It's kind of slightly different, but gives really interesting effects sometimes. Some of them I quite like, some of them I don't care for. And again, you can always make it much lighter, which I find almost always gives it some commonality. The white kind of softens the color and means they go together a little better. Double split complementary is a little bit like the tetradic we're talking about, like the rectangular. You can see it. Let's put this one out there, and there, and this one automatically goes all the way across. You can see. I don't know what this little guy in the middle is for, but he's there. And again, I can still make them much lighter colors if I want to. Here's a true square, just all the way across. I can grab. There we go. And again, if there's any one color I don't like, I can modify it a little bit. Like I said, I don't like that green. Okay, well, we're gonna make it a little bit darker. Okay. Compound is just kind of all sorts of things. This one I find extremely fun to play with. Shades would be all the darker ones, where the black is the shades. And then custom, you can just do anything. I like to hit the compound, find something, and then you can play with custom a little bit. So this is one way to do it. You can also go into Explore, and it gives you some ready-made palettes, okay? You can enter an item here, like let's say you wanted to say health. Okay, see what comes up. So some images come up. Sometimes here's a nice image, and then it gives you the little colors that would go along with it. So if you had a photo that you wanted to use for your brochure, you could put it in here and it would tell you what colors you want. So this is, again, a nice little color scheme to look at. Trends. It shows you different color schemes in different industries, right? Fashion has its own color schemes that might be popular, but what's going on in, say, graphic design or illustration or media processing might be quite different, right? The trends for color in different industries aren't going to be the same. Hang on, see if there's game design is going to be kind of bright. This would be kind of user-friendly stuff. This might be quite interesting in terms of a brochure that works. Okay, libraries. Oh, if you like a theme that you see and explore that you did in the create, you can save it and then come back to it later. Anyways, this is just a fun little tool to play with some different color schemes while you're figuring out what you want to do with your brochure. So feel free to check it out. There are all sorts of color palette generators that you can use. This one's my favorite just because I think it's really useful and has a lot of little tools that give you full control. So give it a try and see what you think.